Stormy Daniels' lawyer, the esteemed Michael Avenatti, was arrested on suspicion of domestic violence. The whole story is pretty murky, but it seems he's accused of similar stuff he's partial to smearing others with. Now, I'm not going to lie, I felt like there was some justice exacted in the universe, and I may be small for feeling that way. But nobody's as small, petty, and irresponsible with the lives of others as this guy. He tried to ruin Brett Kavanaugh's life with unbelievable allegations that have been referred for criminal investigation. That wrongdoing requires serious poetic justice. And even if it turns out he's innocent, and he might very well be, he's tasting the kind of pain he's put on others. And it's good to see one leader of a mob get hoisted on his own pitchfork. But even if this feels good, one must resist that feeling because someone else may have gotten hurt, the alleged victim. So we must be better than him, better than Avenatti. Okay, that's a low bar. We must be magnificent compared to him. So he deserves due process and the presumption of innocence, even if he kept it from Kavanaugh. And he must get all that good stuff our system has to offer, even if he would happily deny it to you or to me. And maybe if justice is served, he might learn something about his own behavior, his own sins, and his own deceit. But he's Michael Avenatti, so don't hold your breath. All right, so one, he claims, he believes that he was set up, that he was framed, and he might have been framed, who knows? But would it be more likely Democrats than Republicans to frame him?
Democrats to frame him?
Yes, you know, they got a crowded field, and he doesn't do the Democrats any favors.
You mean you really think he's running for president?
Well, maybe, I don't know.
He says he is.
He says he is.
Well, that's ridiculous. I mean, you know, of course, I thought Trump was, but I think Avenatti is really ridiculous. That's really ridiculous. But I must say, there seems to be a lot of schadenfreude around today with regard to Michael Avenatti. A lot of people saying, oh, especially on the right. I think Town Hall had a headline that said something like "sweet irony." Right. So, but I think we should all be very careful. We don't know the facts of this case, and I was surprised that the first wife and the second wife, I think, said she wasn't there, and the initial report was that she was there and that she was the victim. So that doesn't make sense to me. But I just think we're all locked into this tribal political kind of framework at the moment, and Avenatti has made himself the titular head of the attack on Donald Trump. So if you're a Trump supporter, why not take the light in his troubles?
Mm-hmm. Titular. That is the best word to describe him. Dana, as much as I despise the guy, you have to presume he's innocent even if he would screw you over in a heartbeat.
No, you have to, because that's the principle that we were arguing about all during the Kavanaugh hearings. I saw today that a couple of New York Times reporters are going to be writing a book. It's going to be coming out next year, and it's going to answer all the questions, still unanswered questions from the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation hearings. And I thought, really, all the questions?
Yes.
Like all the ones, like the ones including, for example, the people who've been referred to the Department of Justice by the Grassley Committee, the Judiciary Committee, for making false statements to investigators. Like those unanswered questions?
Yeah.
Those would be interesting.
They would. And actually, it would be a great book if they went after the...
If that's the book they're going to write.
If that book the book just focused on 2 weeks, it would be a great book. Jesse, you love to read.
I do.
But that's for another time. It is, I know it's small, and I am small, but I feel some justice to see how Avenatti responds now that he's on the other side of this.
Right.
That's kind of like, I mean, that's a human thing, and I realize that I should tamp that down.
Isn't it funny how life can kind of just hold the mirror up sometimes and show you lessons learned, possibly? I mean, it was just a couple months ago that this exact same thing was happening to Brett Kavanaugh, allegedly, and he wasn't giving him the benefit of the doubt. So I think it's nice to now everybody, you know, if it happens to this person, then it happens to this person. The entire media can take a step back and say, innocent until proven guilty, except Hillary, because we know she's guilty. When you look at this guy, it looks like his life is flaming out. It looks like his 15 minutes are up. I don't know if he did it. He may have been set up, but let's just say something happened that was bad. He kind of rode Stormy Daniels' lawsuit to fame, and then he parlayed it into a presidential run. And then he's now being investigated for lying to the Senate. A judge just ruled he owes millions to his former business partners. And he's been accused of a felony domestic assault beef. And you're looking at this guy and you're thinking, okay, how bad can it get? And then you say to yourself, it's going to get a lot worse because, one, he's never going to get booked on any cable news shows anymore. Everybody that loved him, CNN, barely covered the story. His appearances in Vermont at some Democratic event were canceled. This guy's a pariah, and he's in the middle of a really dirty divorce right now, and he can't afford the luxury lifestyle that he's provided for himself and for his ex-wife. And I think what's going to happen is he was going to take the money that he raised for the presidential campaign, and I think he was going to pay down debts with that because he owes his business partners, he owes the state of California, and he owes the IRS millions of dollars. That's over with now. That whole shell game that he was trying to arrange is done. I think he's going to probably declare bankruptcy, or he may spend time in prison.
You're like the opposite of a therapist. You just basically...
Tough love.
Yeah, that was just like... I think you actually just basically took apart every facet of his career. And
I've been following him closely.
Yes.
I mean, how can you not? He's on TV all the time.
He is.
Jedediah, even Alyssa Milano, who was front and center almost in the Kavanaugh hearings, or in the back to their shoulder, just has disavowed him.
Yeah, she's consistent at least. Presumption of innocence doesn't matter to her no matter what, no matter who it is. I think it's interesting. You know, you asked before how he might respond, and I saw that he tweeted out. One of the things he said when he tweeted was, "Why is TMZ's news standard the new standard?" That's really interesting because that's what many of us have been saying for a really long time. Now, all of a sudden, he's going to become the guy that questions these news outlets. It says, "Wait a second. You know, this is an accusation against me. This is an allegation of me. There's no proof." He's making the exact same arguments that everyone that was watching Kavanaugh unfold and saying, "Hold on a second, let's just investigate this and figure out what happened, but let's not criminalize this guy in second one." Now he's making those arguments. This should be like a moment for him, a turning point moment for him, where he sits back, if he's, you know, a decent human being, and I don't know him personally, but if he is, where he sits back and he can say, wow, this is why this matters, because at any point you could be in this situation. I don't know if he's guilty. I don't know if he's innocent. I don't know what happened. But any one of us could be in a situation where the public doesn't know the story, but you deserve the right to be innocent until proven guilty because no one else knows the story except you, and you have to go through process. No one gave Kavanaugh the right to process, and now he's seeing that a lot of people don't want to give him that same right. And many of us are sitting here. I don't agree with him on anything, but I am here to defend his right to process the same way I was defending Kavanaugh's right to process.
Well,
so consistency would be great from everyone.
Let me ask you a question, Jedediah. You really think, and Jesse said this too, it's analogous? I think you were being unfair to Kavanaugh. I mean, Kavanaugh was really, the hard charge against him came from Professor Ford, who said something happened when he was a teenager, and then they had to get her to testify, and they're trying to find if they could confirm. In the case of what we're seeing with Avenatti, you've got the women right there, the investigation ongoing. I don't think it's analogous, and I certainly don't think it's analogous to Stormy Daniels saying something happened with Donald Trump and then discovering that there was a payoff. But now everything is the same, and it's all about due process.
It's not the
Come
same,
on,
but
guys.
he still has a right to go have this be investigated, make his case heard.
That was what the Democrats were saying about Kavanaugh.
Wait. Well, one, there's two different situations. Kavanaugh was 30 years ago with no witnesses, no nothing.
That's what I said.
This was an actual arrest.
That's what I just said.
Kavanaugh was never arrested.
That's why it's not analogous.
Well, it's even less analogous, and the burden of proof is more on Avenatti.
But what is analogous is that the public should be willing to say innocent until proven guilty holds. That it's still America, regardless of what the situation. It's not the same exact situation. You're right. There is an arrest here, and you're right. It is arguably a much worse situation for him. But you still people still have a right to defend themselves, and we shouldn't be criminalizing people on second one.
You know, as I get more famous and powerful, I've noticed something. I'm probably going to get set up at some point.
You
are. I have some great advice for people, and I read
Yes.
this on Twitter today.
What?
If you're ever traveling alone for like a period of time and like really no one really knows where you are, it's good to make purchases with a credit card or a debit card. That way there's an electronic footprint that verifies your whereabouts at a certain point of time, so you have an alibi. So no one can say, you did this to me at this time,
wait a
and
second.
you can look at the receipt and say, no, I was buying Tic Tacs at a 7-Eleven.
What happened when you gave me your Starbucks card and I used it the other day?
Yes. Well, there goes my alibi.
You were setting me up.
I think there's a way. If everybody would do that, every criminal would do that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it helps.
You just walk around using your ATM card.
Yeah. That is very funny. I'm glad you thought about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he's getting more famous by the minute.
Oh, boy.